Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night philosophy call by Band of Brothers, DE. And remember, nothing is bigger than life. So before we start with our speaker, we have a couple of announcements. And the first announcement is about the room block. Hopefully, everybody that's on the call tonight or listens later have already got their rooms. But if not, October 6th, it ends, and then it's more money when you say, I want to come to DE. And remember, it's October 23rd to the 26th, and you've got 23 days left. There's a little QR code right here. You can scan it, and that'll book you right away to get that in, and then you don't have to worry about tomorrow making a phone call. Don't forget about our teams. I hope, again, I keep saying, I hope we're interacting. I'm sending out messages. I love y'all, but keep connecting. We want to hear from you. Usually we have other DE dates. You know about the next one is in January, which will be there it is, winter 2026, January 29th to February 1st at Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. Spring 2026, April 16th to the 19th at the Sheraton Sand Key Resort. All of them are going to be fantastic. Okay. Now I get to introduce. She's spoken on the platform before. Dr. Bridget is just full of joy, full of passion, a warrior for chiropractor. She's a mom of 3. She has a great partner in her husband that you heard yesterday, and she has nothing but love in her heart to share with you because she loves chiropractic. Take it away, Dr. Bridget.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Bridget. Surprise. Thanks for being on the call if you're on live or if you're watching later. I know it is your precious time, whether you're here on East Coast time or earlier, but it takes a lot of fortitude to get on a call or be on something. It's great that it happens weekly so you can make it a part of your rhythm. But what I wanted to talk today was a little bit about connection, was a little bit about, I guess, the frustrations that I hear. We talk to a lot of chiropractors. My husband and I are very active in chiropractic. We really love chiropractic and we love helping chiropractic push forward. I'm on the board of the FCS, which really means that my husband is unofficially on the board of the FCS because everything we do together. We go to DE, we're an AMPed. We work with students at Palmer, Florida. We're very active in the Gonstead community. We're just really obsessed with chiropractic. If you don't know about me, I love students, and I think students are one of my biggest, most passionate things that I care about in chiropractic, because if we're not sending the elevator back down and if we're not reaching down to help the next person up, then there's not going to be anyone to take care of our kids. And we just had this huge meeting with the Florida Chiropractic Society. We had a retreat and we went through a whole lot of just inner work and what do we want to be and what do we want to stand for and how do we pivot in 2025. And one of the things that we probably spent the most time was just like, what is an easy way to say, what does it mean to be a member of the FCS and what does that want? And my why, and I was very adamant about it while I was in the meeting, is just like, I want my great grandkids to get adjusted, right? Because you can look at the state of chiropractic and you can get really dismal about it. And you can also look at chiropractic and be like, well, it's the best time to be a chiropractor because people are looking for what we do and they want what we have and all of this stuff. But we're also retiring chiropractors faster than we're making them. So there aren't as many students as there are people graduating. There aren't many people graduating as there are retiring. And even the people who are retiring are people who came through chiropractic in a wonderful time, an abundant time. Where I think sometimes to us kids who are in practice, who've been in practice 8 years, think like, gosh, it would have been so great for, insurance to reimburse or whatever, just to have, prices be so low with everything, that it wasn't like, well, can we take our family of 5 to the chiropractor, or should we have freedom in our grocery bill, right? Because that's sometimes where people are deciding, especially with how many people are getting laid off. Anyway, long story longer, you could focus on the negativity. I choose not to. But we as a profession have to go down to the youth. And I think that's something really beautiful that Sid did, right? Sid created a school because he wanted to be a beacon and he wanted to be a place to create more principled chiropractors, to create more people that were on fire, to make sure that he was getting as many chiropractors out there as possible so that the masses could be served. And we, I feel like, have gotten away from that in our time because it's so easy to graduate and get on your chiropractic island and just work really hard at opening your practice. And if you're in the first 5 years of practice, I agree with you. Work on your practice, but stay in touch with your friends, encourage each other. One of the saddest parts of my life is that the people that I was closest to in chiropractic school, that I read the green books with, that I went to DE with, that I served principled chiropractic with, that I served in offices, doing screenings and day ones and all this crazy stuff. Almost all of them now operate health centers and do, we'll talk from occasionally from time to time, and I'll be like, how's practice? And I'll be like, how many visits a week are you at? And they'll be like, well, do you just mean chiropractic? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, bro. I do mean just chiropractic because what else are we doing? And they're doing decompression and lasers and all sorts of stuff. And it's just like, I remember when we used to sit here and be like, oh gosh, we're not gonna do anything but adjust people. It's the most important thing we can do. Da, 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 da. And then 5 years down the road, it's all different. And I think part of that is because in this like 5 year period where you're opening your office, you're facing reality and you're working, you're getting butts and seats and you're doing all of this different stuff, and you forget in the hardness of it, like, why are we doing what we do? And in the worry of like paying the bills and all that stuff. And I've paid my bills since the very first day I opened. I was profitable from the get out, and I was so on focus, and I was so dedicated to what we were going to do and the people that we were going to serve. And I had nothing else to do. I had nothing else to do but serve people and spread the news of chiropractic. And we were successful off the gate. My husband graduated a year-ish after we opened, and he came in, he did the same thing. But we got, stuck in our island. And then in the beginning, it was really easy to communicate and everyone to celebrate everyone's wins. But as our families grew and our life grew, everybody separated. And I think that's the problem. I think the problem is that we need to serve people, right? We need to have these growing practices. We need to take care of our family. We need to have God and then family and then chiropractic, right? But we also need to think about chiropractic as it's my office, but it's also my profession. And we have to be politically active, which is why we're part of the FCS. And if you can't be politically active in your state because of time, because of reason, like because you don't have one, then you need to find one that you can support. So if you can't support it with your time and talent, then you should support it with your treasure. So whatever state you're in, if there's some principled organization, they're working and they're trying to protect the principle of chiropractic from the way more people that want to change the profession because they couldn't get into medical school or they couldn't get into PT school, and they just want to start charging for more and more things because they suck at adjusting more likely than not. Because if you can just adjust people and get them well, what else could you talk to? You have 5 minutes to talk to somebody. You have 5 minutes to talk to somebody, and what are you going to talk to them about? Somebody comes in, they're like, hey, how are you, doc? And I'm like, tell me what's new in your life. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's changed. What are you looking forward today? I don't want to explain pleasantries. I remember I shadowed Paula Hedgelong, and she says, we don't say how are you in this office. And I was like, well, that's interesting. She's like, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about life. We're here to talk about unleashing the power within. We're here to unlock the nervous system. So let's get to business. Someone I love dearly, Natalie Natavonsky, she says, tell me something good when she's examining a spine before she adjusts it. It's just like what are we focusing on when we're getting into this space? And how are we telling the message, but how are we also creating more of that, right? Are we getting so successful and so full that we need to find students, we need to find associates? I feel like everyone, maybe not everyone, I shouldn't say that blanket statement, but I feel like it sometimes seems frustrating to find a person who fits, right? Because the kids that are coming out of school are struggling, or they don't know, or they're being taught by failed chiropractors as their teachers, because I don't know about you, but at this season of my life as a successful chiropractor, I'm not thinking, gosh, I wish I could drive an hour and a half and go teach in Port Orange, give Mindy a quick squeeze, and go teach philosophy or technique or whatever stupid thing Palmer's not going to throttle me about. Right? I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking like, oh gosh, we got to do these things. Got to take, our family's very young. We hope to grow it more. Like we have all these dreams and things. It's not my season, but do I see myself doing that when I'm 55, 60 years old? I think I do. I think I do. If that's where God calls me, that's what he asks me to do. But what he does ask me to do, and I think that my husband and I do very well, and that I would encourage you all to do, is that we connect with students on a regular basis. We do that through AMPT. We're doing that through the FCS. We're doing it through Gonstead. We're meeting my best friend, Dr. Robert White. He has a fantastic group of students that are coming to his office once a month just to learn about practice, just to ask things they don't teach in school. And maybe you're not close to a practice. I mean, a college. Maybe your practice is not close to a college. Maybe you can't do that. He's in Orlando. We're in Jacksonville. It's about equidistant. Maybe you can't do that. What could you do? You could contact a school and say, I'd like to be an intern. I'd like to have whatever they call it, a preceptor, peak, whatever their silly name is. I know Dr. Teresa Hartley, who's a board member with me, she has an intern coming from National, guys. National, you could just like write them off, or you could look at it as CPR. We get there and we could say to them, yeah, come into our practice. Yes, we would love to have you intern. So we can rock your world and show you what chiropractic actually is. Because you can have a whole education. Because what is school for, guys? School is to pass boards and get a piece of paper. Because if you're a chiropractor, you're called to be a chiropractor already. You walked into that building because God called you there. You didn't end up there on accident. And if you make it through the program and you're going to open an office or associate, you didn't have a choice. You were called to the profession. And what were you called? You have this unique set of gifts that you have. And if your gifts isn't connecting with students, and again, your gifts isn't going out there and like creating a class or hosting a workshop or whatever, then maybe it's your treasure. Maybe you need to give some money to someone. Doesn't have to, I'm not asking you for money. You could give it to the FCS, you could give it to the ICA, you could give it to the ICPA, you could give it to Matt McCoy. I don't care who you give it to, but you should give it to businesses and organizations and people who are supporting principled chiropractic, do have access to students, right? Because students have a lot of voices in their head. Most of them at school are failed chiropractors. And then those failed chiropractors are telling them that it's super hard and that you're never going to get. You need to do as many things as possible to people, that the subluxation is not real, that we don't actually affect the nervous system, that we're just an expensive Tylenol, right? This is what they're getting educated when they don't understand that we unleash the living potential in their body. Come on. And so who's going to tell them? We got to tell them. And if they don't know about DE, they can't come to DE, but how are they going to know about it? So maybe what do you love? What do you love? What do you love your technique? Do you love seeing kids? Do you love seeing pregnant ladies? Do you love seeing athletes? Do you love seeing rich people? Are you like a rich people concierge chiropractor? I don't know what you are. Do you love upper cervical? Do you love instrument adjusting? What do you love? Then you should contact some club, because there's a club of everything at every school. How do I do that? Email the school. Hey, I would like to donate my time. I would love to be a speaker at a club. Could you connect me with the president of that club? It's that simple. It's an email, guys. There's some lady whose job is just to sit there and field emails. That's her job. Let her field your email. But if you don't ask, you can't receive. If you're not on the list of potential preceptor docs, they can't come into your office. If you're so far away, listen, let's say you're in Montana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, right? I No offense to anyone who lives there or loves that. You don't nobody thinks like, God, I can't wait to open my practice in one of these states unless the person's from that state, or they like what that state stands for, or maybe they're interested in something that they found, but it's just not. Everybody's moving to Florida, okay? Everybody wants to be down here in the Southeast. We live where y'all vacation. The people who are in New England only love New England, okay? That's they're clam chowder and the Patriots and the Bruins and don't get in their way, right? Like they just said that they've already assigned themselves to that sector. Then there's the whole Midwest and California, and those people are probably going to the schools out there. But there's also docs out there who love where they live, but what are they doing? They're living on an island. So if you're on an island, you need to get off your island. If you can't get off your island, or that's just not your gifting, that's okay. You need to support someone who's really good at getting off the island, whether it's someone who has a technique seminar or a workshop for helping people open their practices or whatever floats your boat. But if you're like, I like the people who are leading this thing. I like the life that they're living. And I am not going to get out there and write a book or do a workshop or host a webinar, but they are. I would like to give them some of my treasure, right? The stuff that I earn. Because you guys understand. I mean, this is my favorite concept in chiropractic. So if you've heard me say this before, forgive me for repeating, but I think sometimes people take it for granted. Do you guys understand that we generate money out of thin air? Abundance, cash out of nothing. I walk into a room with another person. That person is subluxated. I look at their body, I assess their body, I analyze their body, I lay them on the table. Well, they lay themselves. I crush their spine, specifically, scientifically. I remove subluxation. And then they, in exchange for that service, give me money. Out of what? Thin air. How much money can I make as a chiropractor? How much air do you have? How much air is available to you? How much air would you like to share with a subluxated person that you could say hello? Dr. Bridget, I'm a chiropractor. Who's your chiropractor? Dr. Andy Harding's favorite sentence. Who's your chiropractor? They say, oh, I don't have a chiropractor. Well, here's my card. Well, why would I need a chiropractor? I'm not in any pain. Great question. So glad you asked. Do you understand that your body is powered by an entire system like wires in your breaker box in your house? And if that doesn't work, there's no power to your house, right? How mad would you be if you went home today and your air conditioning didn't work because the breaker popped? What would you do? You would go to the breaker box and you would fix it. That's what I do for your body. So when your air conditioning isn't working, when your digestive system isn't working, when your brain isn't working, when you can't sleep, when you can't poop, when you can't eat, I can help you with that. That's what I do. That's what I'm that kind of chiropractor. Quack, quack. What do you think? Could you use that? Guys, I don't think it's appreciated enough that we generate abundance out of thin air. So if you thought, oh my God, we need more new patients, ask the air. You're gonna think I'm crazy. And just say, I have all this space for new patients. We did this. My husband's been really focused on attracting newborn children. My nightmare, his dream. Today, I think we had 11 newborns. I call them buried in babies. That's what I said about my husband. He was buried in babies on Thursday. He was buried in babies on Tuesday. Last Tuesday, he was buried in babies this Tuesday. Fun fact, if you didn't know, September 9th to 21st, most popular birthday, most popular birthday in the world to be born between September 9th and September 21st. Why? What's 9 months before then? Christmas and New Year's. What do people say? Next year, we're going to have a baby. And then they go for it. God bless their ministry if they have no difficulty conceiving. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Welcome to September. A little bit early, a little bit late. We're here. Maybe you're a Thanksgiving baby that came real early. Who knows? A lot of you listening to this, you're like, I have a September birthday. Now you're thinking about your parents got jiggy with it on Christmas. I'm sorry. That's your thought process. Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. It's very hard to tell jokes here with no one laughing at it. So I'm just going to pretend like you all thought that was hilarious. So anyway, my husband has been really focused on getting babies who cannot latch into practice. He put up an ad about it. The click-through rate on the ad, I don't know. I don't know how it is. I don't think it's great. I only see how much it costs me. So I don't love it. But that's not where my brain. I don't do the ads. That's his stuff. And so he has this ad doing it, but nobody's clicking through, nobody's booking through the ad or whatever, however that works, how that magic works. But all of a sudden, 3 weeks after September 9th to 21st, we're buried in babies. Why? Because they just had a baby, they would like to breastfeed, and the latch. How do we become famous for this now? We are the birth, like people will say like break up with your chiropractor and go see this chiropractor because your birth is going to be so much better. That's not true, but they tell them that so they believe it. So thank you for the power of the mindset. But so our reputation right now is, you want to have a rockin' birth, come get adjusted at Slancha. That's the name of our practice, if you don't know. Looks like Slaint, sounds like Slancha. It's an Irish word for to your health. And then once your baby comes out, if you'd like to have a successful breastfeeding relationship, you need to go to Dr. Vin. Not me, not my thing. So I take care of the grown-ups. So now we're buried in babies. More so because my husband has been focused on it. He's been thinking about, how can I serve these babies? How can I communicate with these parents? How can I explain to them what it is that I do? Because what's so cool about adjusting a baby, and the biggest part that I'm jealous of about the fact that he loves adjusting babies, because I don't love adjusting babies. I do adjust babies, guys. Don't get your underwear in a ruffle. But it's instant gratification, right? You like take a baby and you adjust it, however you adjust it. Maybe you check its palate. Maybe you're a cranial guy. Who knows? You adjust this baby and then you hand it back to the mom. And I know this has to be my husband's favorite part. He like hands it back to the mom, right? And this baby was like stiff as a board, and now it's just a pile of mashed potatoes. And he hands the baby back to its mom, and he's like, "Here you go." And she's like, "What?" That's how we get dads. If dads come to the visit, guys, hand them the baby. He loves to hand a dad a baby. And then he tells the mom, "You should get ready to nurse. I'm gonna step out. You latch him." The mom's like, "It is so different." What was that? Turn around 6 seconds from clear, from subluxation to clear. Here's the baby. How magical is that? Whereas you get back pain Bob, right? Neck pain Nancy, right? And they're like, "I don't know if I'm better." You know what I say to them? You are better. I said, just because you came in, Nancy, because your neck hurts, right? Like, just because this hurts you doesn't mean that that's where your body's going to start healing. Why? Because the body's intelligent and it heals in priority. Just Dr. Justin Brown taught me this. The body heals in priority. So, wow, your neck pain, Nancy, is your chief reason to come to the chiropractor because you think that's what I do. My chief thing is to free your nervous system so that it can heal appropriately and in order of importance, because the same nerves in your lower neck go to your diaphragm. They can go to your heart. They go down your arms, Nancy. And so there's lots of things that can be happening that you don't even know. Because did you check in with your heart recently and see if the cell turnover was good? Have you assessed your veins and arteries for health? You got a chest film? No, you don't know, because you're just like, broke up breathing today. Sounds awesome. You're going to breathe better because I adjusted you, but you're worried that your neck hurts. Well, Nancy, you waited till you were 65 to come and get adjusted, and I'm looking at your spine on x-ray. It's held together by Gorilla Glue and duct tape, and you'd like me to help it not hurt in one visit? Well, since I'm not Jesus last time I checked, and I can't put my hands on you and heal you, I ask him all the time if he'd give me that gift, but right now he doesn't. So we're just going to have to work with time and patience, and the fact that this didn't start yesterday, as this picture shows you. And I know that you're going to be better. In fact, Nancy, I know that you're better right now because you're clear. And that's all that we're going to worry about. Give me a few visits, Nancy, before you stop treating me like an expensive Tylenol and you start seeing what it is that I do for a living. My husband met with this website guy. And the website guy, first of all, told us our website was terrible. Not nice. He said it in a polite way. But anyways, SEO and all that mumbo jumbo. And he said, if he goes, tell me about what you do. So that's what's really cool about this guy. We really like this guy. So he's not a chiropractic guy. He has no idea what we do. So not only are we getting his like not adulterated eyes on this, he's just asking us really good questions. And so he can like try to think like a person who doesn't think about chiropractic thinks. And he goes, so tell me what it is that you do. So my husband goes through this whole thing, like what we do, and basically gives him a green book lecture. And the guy said to him, if you had led up with, this is what I do for a living, this is what I see in my office, I would never guess you're a chiropractor. I think that's amazing. Guys, isn't that astounding? So this guy literally has no idea what we do, right? This is the whole 12%, 11% of people know what chiropractic is, utilize chiropractic, blah, 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 that we all learned about in school. I think this is really cool because if there's any new person that I love a new, okay? Not just new. So a new is just new to you. They've already been to a chiropractor. Maybe they're a car accident guy. Maybe they fell. Maybe their parents took them when they were little, whatever. That's a new to you chiropractor. But of like new patient, new practice member, whatever you like to say. A new to you, new to chiropractic. Best person to get. That's what you should think about when you're thinking about manifesting abundance out of absolute thin air, which is what our profession is. People give us cold hard cash for these guys, this guy. Cold hard cash out of nowhere. Guys, can you just think about that for a second? There's this book. It's a really good book. It's called The Little Money Bible. It's truly little. It's like that thin, maybe that big, small, teeny tiny. And it literally says that you generate abundance out of midair, which is where I had this like thought flash, this big thing that went on in my brain. Thin air. So this guy has no idea what we do. He's going to design our website for people who also have no idea what we're going to do and wonder why in the world should I bring my baby to the chiropractor, my child to the chiropractor. Again, personally, not my dream practice, my husband's dream practice. Great. I had my dream practice for the first 4 years that we were open. And now I'm like a mom that also adjusts. It's pretty awesome. It's going to be a season that I'm going to go back to having white hair and crushing spines again after I raise these babies. But I still work 2 afternoons a week, and it's wonderful. And it's really great for our family. And I think as our family grows, I might go to 1 day a week. Maybe I go to 1 day every other week. And then I'll be full time again because my husband said that he didn't sign up to not work with me every day for the rest of his life. But I also didn't think I would ever not adjust. But I know that my mission in life, my ministry is my children, who are all going to be chiropractors. I'm just going to speak that right now. So if anyone's recording this, it'd be great if you could play it when they all graduate from whatever school is the best at the time. Guys, can we please get rid of the CCE language? Do you care about this? Do you know that if we got rid of the CCE language, people who went to Barcelona College of Chiropractic could come and practice in states that don't have CCE language? Do you know how much Barcelona School of Chiropractic costs? Way less. This is I think as a parent of future chiropractors, my mom had 4 kids. 2 became chiropractors, 3 married chiropractors. She had 4 kids. 2 became chiropractors, 3 married chiropractors. That's what I'm talking about. Like Joe Curso, his kids, chiropractors. Listen, there's no hate if your kids didn't become chiropractors. It's just what I want for my family. I'm a 3rd-generation chiropractor. I would really like 4th-generation chiropractors. My son says he's going to be a cowboy. Cowboy chiropractor sounds great. Thinks about being a vet. You can adjust animals too. But let's get this CCE language thing out. Do you care about this? If you do care about it, you should help your principal organization in your state with funding so that they can go have fancy dinners with senators because that's the only way they listen to you, and then tell them about what it is that we need and then make it happen. And because you don't want to do that, right? Just like you don't want to write research. Do you want research in chiropractic? Then you need to give money to research institutions in chiropractic. I personally don't want to do research, doesn't light a fire in me, but do I love that research is being done? Are there nerds in chiropractic that need money to do research? Yes. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Can you have time? You have talent, you have treasure. Okay. What are you doing with your time? Can you volunteer your time for chiropractic by connecting with schools, connecting with kids, becoming an intern, right? Do you have talents? Do you have things that set you on fire for chiropractic that you could serve the future of chiropractic so that our great grandchildren, so what we landed at the FCS was preserving chiropractic for the next generation? I need my kids to be able to get a specific scientific chiropractic adjustment, guys. I don't want them to go into a health center and get electrocuted and stretched out and do exercises. The amount of people that we've started in the last 6 months that have gone to chiropractors that never adjusted them is astounding. I will still almost count that as a new because they went to a chiropractor that just mixed. There's one thing you can talk to somebody about. You've got 10 minutes to tell somebody, I'm going to tell them about Jesus, and I'm going to tell them about chiropractic. That God designed your body to heal from the inside out, and He can only do those. So if that's clear, and if it's not clear, then there's going to be distortion. That distortion is going to lead to disease, and the only way to get rid of that is to get checked and adjusted. And I'm your guy. I'm the only profession that does it. You think that's wacky? Lay down. I'll show you. You're going to know. This woman's like, I can literally breathe better. We had a lady, she had her first adjustment. She went out to her car, she sobbed, and she came in. She said, I had a spiritual awakening after that adjustment. I mean, doesn't that just get you excited? We have the coolest job, guys. We have the coolest job. And is it a job? Yeah. Do we have to work hard? Yeah. Is there stupid admin crap that we have to do? Yes. But we generate abundance out of thin air. If you focus on it, if you're having a hard time, you need to reach out to a friend. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to another chiropractor. You can talk to me. I'm 70% chiropractic, 30% therapy all the time. First thing I'm going to say, when was the last time you got adjusted? It's the first thing I'm going to say if you call me and you say, I'm not in good space. When was the last time you got adjusted, man? When you getting checked? Are you getting wait until DE to get checked? You don't have a friend? You don't have a sit. I mean, drive an hour and get checked. I don't know what you need to do. You need to get adjusted. But we need to talk to our friends in school. And if it's too far, they're too far gone, then you need to find new friends. And those new friends need to be students. And if you're not good at that, I already went over that 300 times. Give them your treasure. Because God has given you abundantly more than you could ever ask for. And He will continue to give you more as long as you make the space. Say, God, every time you come in, that phone's going to ring, and I have space for all these people, Lord. I have room for 10 new people today, Lord. I'm ready for the phone to ring. Sigafoos used to say, picture your phone ringing, walk around your office, picture your phone ringing, answer it. When my office was empty in the beginning, when I was just starting out, I walked around and I adjusted fake people in my rooms. If you think that's crazy, you're wrong. It's not crazy. It's intentional. All right. I think that's all I have for you. I love you so much. I can't wait to see y'all in October. October is probably my favorite D. It's always my wedding anniversary. Dr. Vin and I will be married 8 years. Our practice is open 8 years. My son is 7. My whole life started about 8 years ago. I love you all. And if you ever need anything, you can always message me. Ask me for my phone number. Marco Polo me. Whatever you need. But if you need a friend, you should get one. And if you don't have any friends, come to DE. I'll give you a friend. I mean, my kids are going to be there. They love talking to people. My 2 oldest are going to be incredible chiropractors. My 3rd, she's going to be a good chiropractor, but she's going to be quiet like her daddy. But I hope that this helped you. I hope it served you. That's all I got.
Well, all you got is a lot. That's for sure. It kind of reminds us of the band of brothers in the office, is because you have so many ideas.
I said a lot there. Sorry for the.
No, there's no a lot, because there's a couple of things you said there, but everything you said was very simple. You gave solutions to a problem that we have in chiropractic, and that is we're not graduating enough chiropractors to fight the battle, to
And
change
adjust people.
well, just to change the whole world with chiropractic. That's for sure. And chiropractors of my age, a couple of years ago, they sold out and do everything but chiropractic, and they were strong in their philosophy. I just think they just get lazy.
Yeah.
And there's that stream that they'd rather float in the middle and not bounce off of anything and have to deal with it. But the solutions always is we have to make contact. We have to be there and honor where people are, but let them know that there's work to do. And they should show up to organizations that are fighting the fight, without a doubt. And I have a suggestion maybe for the FCS to do, is that your campaign to have money to fight these fights need to be more viral in videos with telling people what needs to be done, because we don't really hear as an FCS member what's needed to be done. So
Well, I take that to the meeting, Mindy.
yeah, that's it. That was my thought. I just have one other thing I would just want to say to you is that you may have not have heard the people laughing, but we were laughing.
Oh,
You
good.
were hilarious, but full of love for what you do. And I love and appreciate you, Bridget. And I can't wait to see you all at October DE.
I love and appreciate you too, Mindy. Thanks for being my first DE friend.
It's in my heart.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Adios. Buenas noches. Bye, guys.